You've been doing everything right. You show up. You push through the soreness. You track your meals, you drink your water, you sacrifice your social life, and yet when you look in the mirror, nothing has changed. That feeling right there, that quiet frustration building in your chest, that's exactly what we're unpacking today, because there is a very specific reason your body is not responding, and it has nothing to do with how hard you're working. Let's start with the truth that nobody wants to say out loud. Most people are training in a way that is physiologically impossible to produce results. Not because they're lazy, not because they lack discipline, but because the information they're following was designed for someone completely different than them. Think about that for a second. You've been executing a plan that was never built for your body, your lifestyle, or your specific hormonal environment, and you've been blaming yourself this entire time. That ends right now. Here's where things get interesting. The fitness industry generates over $100 billion every year. $100 billion, and the majority of people consuming that content are still stuck, still searching, still confused. That number should make you angry, because it means the confusion is profitable. The more lost you feel, the more products you buy, the more programs you try, the more the machine keeps spinning. You were never meant to figure this out quickly, but today you will. Let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body when your results stop. Picture this. It's week 3 of your new routine. You felt incredible in week 1. You were sore in the right places, energized, optimistic. Week 2 was harder, but you pushed through. Now it's week 3 and something feels off. The workouts feel the same, but your body feels completely flat. No pump, no progress, no fire. You're not imagining it. Your nervous system has fully adapted to the stimulus you're giving it. Your muscles are no longer being challenged. They're just performing a memorized task. And a muscle that isn't challenged does not grow. Period. This is called adaptive resistance, and it hits almost everyone between weeks 2 and 4 of a consistent routine. The fix is not to work harder. The fix is to work differently. And most people never learn that distinction, so they just keep hammering the same routine expecting different results and getting increasingly frustrated. Now here's a pattern that shows up again and again in people who finally break through their plateau. They didn't just change their exercises, they changed the entire architecture of their training. The sequence, the rest intervals, the progressive overload structure, the recovery protocol. Everything shifted at once, and the body had no choice but to respond. Before we go deeper into this, there are related programs linked down below in the video description. These aren't just generic guides. They are structured systems built around everything we're discussing right now. Here's the thing though. Most people will scroll past that link. They'll watch this video, they'll nod along, they'll feel motivated for about 40 minutes, and then nothing will change. If that sounds like something that's happened to you before, the programs down below exist specifically to interrupt that cycle. But only if you're actually ready to stop repeating the same pattern. Let's keep going. The second reason your results have stalled is something almost nobody talks about, and it's happening at the cellular level. Your cortisol levels are destroying your progress. Every time you train without adequate recovery, every time you sleep less than 7 hours, every time you stress about work or relationships or finances, your cortisol spikes. And chronically elevated cortisol does 3 devastating things simultaneously. It breaks down muscle tissue faster than you can build it. It signals your body to store fat preferentially around your midsection. And it suppresses the hormonal cascade responsible for recovery and growth. So you could be eating perfectly, training consistently, and still watching your body hold on to fat and refuse to add muscle. Not because you're broken, because your stress response is in full overdrive and your body has entered a protective survival state. That survival state is your body's way of saying it doesn't feel safe changing right now. Here's where the emotional reality of this hits hardest. You look at people online who seem to transform in 8 weeks. You compare yourself and you feel like something is fundamentally wrong with you. You start questioning your genetics, your metabolism, your willpower. That spiral is one of the most painful experiences a person can go through because fitness is one of those things that feels deeply personal. It touches how you see yourself, how you feel walking into a room, how you feel getting dressed in the morning, how you feel in your own skin. And when the thing you're pouring your energy into doesn't give back what you put in, it doesn't just feel like a failed workout plan. It feels like failure as a person. That is not the truth, but it feels like it. And that feeling has stopped more people from reaching their potential than any bad diet or wrong exercise ever could. Now let's flip this completely. Imagine 4 months from now. You wake up and the first thing you notice is that getting out of bed doesn't feel like a fight. Your energy is different, stable, consistent, present. You walk past a mirror and you actually stop. Not because you're checking yourself out, but because the reflection surprises you in the best possible way. Your clothes fit differently. Not just your jeans. Everything. And the most powerful part? People around you start noticing before you even say a word about what you've been doing. That scenario is not reserved for people with perfect genetics or unlimited time. Research consistently shows that with the correct stimulus and the right recovery architecture, measurable body composition changes begin appearing within as little as 3 to 4 weeks. Not subtle changes. Visible ones. The kind that make you pull out old photos to compare. But it requires understanding a few more things that most people get completely wrong. Nutrition timing is one of the most underestimated variables in body transformation. It's not just about what you eat, it's about when your body is primed to actually use those nutrients. There is a window immediately after training where muscle protein synthesis is dramatically elevated. Most people either eat the wrong things in that window or miss it entirely, and over the course of months, that missed window compounds into thousands of wasted opportunities for muscle repair and growth. Volume is another massive misunderstanding. More sets do not equal more results. There is an optimal volume threshold for each muscle group beyond which you're not building more muscle. You're accumulating more fatigue, extending your recovery time, and increasing injury risk. Studies have found that in many cases, reducing weekly volume by 20 to 30% while increasing intensity actually accelerates results. Less can be dramatically more when the structure is right. And then, there's the mental dimension. The people who sustain long-term results are not the most disciplined people. They're the people who have built systems that make the right choices automatic. They've removed the need for willpower by designing their environment, their schedule, and their protocols in a way that makes success the default path. That shift from relying on motivation to relying on systems is one of the most powerful cognitive reframes in the entire transformation process. You've been fighting yourself this whole time when what you actually needed was a smarter roadmap. There's a reason transformation stories that go the deepest tend to follow the same arc. Confusion and frustration for months, sometimes years, followed by one structural shift in their approach, followed by results that build momentum so fast it feels almost surreal. That momentum creates consistency. That consistency creates identity. And that identity becomes the foundation for everything else. The gap between where you are right now and where you want to be is not a discipline gap. It is an information and structure gap. Every single element we covered today, the adaptive resistance, the cortisol problem, the nutrition timing, the volume threshold, the systems over willpower, these are the pillars that separate people who stay stuck from people who genuinely transform. The related programs in the description below are the structured path through every one of these pillars. The people who take action on this today, not next Monday, not after one more week of trying it alone, but today, are the ones who will look back 6 months from now and say that decision changed everything. Don't be the person who had the information and waited. That version of you has already waited long enough.